Policing black women's bodies. These men, they are quick to use the word selfish when it comes to you telling them you don't want to have a child. When they see a child-free woman, the first thing that comes into their mind is, oh, you're selfish. I really don't know the similarity between being selfish and being child-free. Let me go ahead and roll this clip for you all to watch. Then at the end of the video, I will share my own opinion.
You think you have kids?
I'm not having kids.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not want to have kids?
Why would I?
I'm asking you.
Why don't I want to have kids? I don't see any benefit.
For giving somebody life?
You have a kid and your life becomes about the kid. I want my life to be about me.
Oh, you selfish.
That's okay.
Did you all see the disgust in his face? The look like you don't want to have the child. Like, he felt so disgusted. Hey beautiful people, how y'all doing today? It's your girl Maria David, and I'm back again with another interesting video. You all see, I feel like this 2023, when I see child free by choice videos on TikTok and responses from most men, or probably there's a question and men want to talk about child free by choice women, they do come for them. Like, they are not happy seeing a woman child free living her life. They are not happy seeing a woman single as well and happy. Men are not comfortable. These men are not comfortable. So what they usually do is they will tell you you're selfish. They'll tell you about legacy. They will also tell you that that is the reason why you're brought to this earth. The only thing you're brought to this earth as a woman is to procreate, is to produce children. And I wonder, what about women that cannot produce, that they want to get pregnant, they really want to have this child, but they cannot get pregnant? So definitely those ones are not women. They are just what? Humans. Let me go ahead and know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. I have few stitches to share with you, interesting stitches. So let us go ahead and watch the stitches together. At the end of all the stitches, I will share my own opinion.
Kid and your life becomes about the kid. I want my life to be about me.
Oh, you selfish.
That's okay.
I don't know if this podcast is satire or if like he means the things that he's saying, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to assume that he means it. He says that she is selfish because she wants her life to be about her and she's not having children. And that to me is so mind-boggling, because when people choose to have children, 99.9% of the time, it's for themselves. It's a selfish choice. They either want to live up to societal expectations of them. They either want unconditional love. They want to fulfill some gaping wound from childhood. Like, I could go on and on and on about the reasons that people have for procreation, and a lot of them are inherently selfish. So the idea that just because you give someone life makes you selfless is not true. I know people who have had children not because they actually want children, but because they're too afraid not to have children, to push back against society. That is selfish.
I don't see any benefit.
For giving somebody life?
Her video really done pissed me off because, like, first of all, he said that's what y'all was brought here to do. Because men really do be thinking that women's only sole purpose in life is literally just to give birth, and then die. There are so many reasons why women would not want to have children. So many reasons. You men are part of the reason. Not all the reasons, but y'all are part of the reasons why some women might be reluctant on having children. Now hold on. Then you want to say you don't see the benefit of bringing life? Clearly you don't, because y'all be walking out on your kids. So what benefit are we talking about? Quickly, because you talking to her about some benefit of bringing life, you clearly don't see the value in a kid's life when you be walking out of it. So come on now, don't be stupid. Don't piss me off. I'm already irritated. Don't piss me off.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not?
I would strongly encourage women to stop entertaining conversations with men where men get to have opinions on what they do with their uterus. They get to enter the conversation and give their public forum advice, unwanted opinions, and it makes it look like they have a right even to this conversation or to be talking when they don't even deserve the attention in that conversation to even be humored. And when they start saying, oh, isn't that what you're born here to do? As if men were born to go on podcasts and tell women what to do with their bodies. Men used to build houses.
When you think you have kids?
I'm not having kids.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having
I see nothing wrong with what she's saying. She knows what she wants. She knows she doesn't want to be a mother. Respect it. Why do y'all shove children down people's throats? Kids are expensive. Inflation. So many breakups. I know so many women who have gotten pregnant and their partners cheat on them or their partners leave them. Look how many women are out here single with children and no help from the father. And it's not all women that, oh my gosh, she deserved this, she wanted it. Who wants to be single with no father? Stop, you guys. Like, really, really make that make sense. There's women out here who scream they want to be mothers. Get with those chicks instead of shoving it down these type of women's throats. She doesn't want kids? Cool. More power to her. I respect any woman who doesn't want kids, especially in this generation. I don't blame anybody who doesn't want kids anymore. I don't blame anybody who doesn't want marriage. The way this society is becoming, it's so toxic. I don't blame any of y'all.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
Hell, oh, we are poor. So as a woman, the only reason why they born us is so we can born other people. Hey, we don't suffer. So aside from to born, we not get any other purpose again for this life. Oh wow. So people will not feel born, uncle. People where for one reason or the other they cannot give birth. Even if they want to, they can't. They don't have any other purpose again in this life. That's what Bros is saying. Like, some of the people in this gender, they really do see us as nothing more than walking incubators, don't they? Wow.
You're not having kids.
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not want to have?
Why is it so hard for people to grasp the concept that not everybody wants kids? Like, I knew I never wanted kids before I was even like a teenager. And I'm 32 now, and my mind has never changed. Like, just something in me knows I wasn't meant to have kids. And then people like to say, and by people I mean family, they're like, oh, you'll feel better once you have a child. You'll love it if it's your child. And like, you don't see how that is? Because what if I have this child and then I hate it? And then I'm miserable, then the child's miserable, and I felt like I made a mistake. That is not healthy for me or the child. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to understand. Like, I know myself. I know how I am, you know? So trying to fit a child into my life, it just wouldn't make me happy at all. And you're stuck with it for like forever. Me not having kids is not going to be the end of the world, you know? Like, my job isn't to breed.
I want my life to be about me.
Oh, you selfish.
I hate when a man is like, oh, you're selfish because you don't want to have kids. Selfish to who? Think about it. Selfish to who? Because to be selfish, you have to be selfish to someone. How could I be selfish to someone or something that's not here? How could you be selfish to an imaginary person, just like a made-up person in your mind? This is the definition of selfish: lacking consideration for others, concerned chiefly with one's own personal profit or pleasure. You see that the first little sentence? Well, actually, it's a whole sentence, but you know, the first couple of words. Lacking consideration for others. Who are you talking about? Selfish to who? You cannot be selfish to a person that's not here. Anyways, that's it.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would?
So there are several things wrong with this man's words and actions in reaction to this woman saying that she doesn't want to have any kids. The fact that he said that's what you were born on this earth to do. No. You don't know why God put me on this God-green earth. And I'm pretty sure 8 times out of 10, it was not to be a mom. Like, everybody has their own walks of purpose, right? And I really feel like only a select few purpose was to be the bearer of children. Okay? Because they're going to bring in somebody like particularly special, whatever. Second thing that was crazy to me is he said that that's selfish of you, because she said that I don't want my life to revolve around my kids. They were like, once you have kids, like your whole life becomes your kids. And she was like, I want my life to be about me. And he said, that's selfish. No, it's valid. Like now, me personally, I do want to have kids, but I can perfectly see why a person would be like, yeah, no, I don't want to have kids, because, you know, they require so much attention, so much effort. You actually have to raise them. Well, a good person would raise them correctly and all this other stuff. Like, it requires a lot. I can definitely see how somebody could lose themselves or lose their identity because of their child. I can see that. And she's like, well, yeah, I don't see a benefit in all of that. She was like, I want it to be about me. I'm the main character, and that's the energy I plan to give throughout my life. So I think she's very much entitled to her own opinion, her own thoughts. And I think it's a valid reason. She wants to be all that she can be in her lifetime, and she does not see kids as part of that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's so crazy when people try to, you know, make somebody feel some type of way because they don't want to have kids. Now, granted, I will ask the question because I'm genuinely curious. I will just want to know. I'll be like, oh, just like, you know, well, can you tell me, like, what was the reason why you don't want to have kids? Like, some people have maybe heard of bad experiences and that's why they don't want to have kids. Maybe some people have bad childhoods. Like, it can be a lot of different factors as to why somebody would not want to bring kids into this world. And I think it should be normalized that if a person say they don't want to have kids, then hey, let it be that. If a person wants to go out and do the necessary actions so that they do not have kids in the future, i.e. a vasectomy or getting their tubes tied, hey, they have the choice to do so. Who are you to say anything about it? But that's just my 2 cents.
I want to have kids. I don't see any benefit.
For bringing
Womp womp. On today's episode of Men Are Out of Touch with Reality, and obviously, no, not all men, but the men who say this, the men who question why a woman wouldn't want to have a child, yeah, you're out of touch with reality. There are plenty of men who appreciate their wives who give them children. I'm not saying they don't exist, but he's not one of them. Because if he was, he would never question why a woman wouldn't want to have a kid, right? Because he would understand fundamentally the immense sacrifices that she as a mother will make to have and raise that child. All the work that goes into it, like all the financial burdens that come with it. Like, he would understand that and be like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can see why you wouldn't want to have a kid. It's a lot. But no, instead it's the whole fake surprise, like, oh my god, why wouldn't you want to have a child and then be forced into doing a shit ton of extra domestic labor because I probably myself would not pick up my fair share because a lot of men, not all men, but a lot of men just want a child as an accessory and as a status symbol. They don't actually want to put in the work and the time and the sacrifices that it takes to raise that child properly. And then they're shocked. They're fucking shocked when their partner doesn't want to pick up the slack anymore. They're shocked when these women are coming out and saying, no, I see what having a child gets me and I don't want to do that because I don't want to be forced against my will to pick up the slack of another grown adult. They're shocked. They're shocked.
Not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not want to have kids?
Why can't men mind the business? Why, in 2023, do men still have opinions on women's anatomy and autonomy and what women should be doing with their bodies? Because let's just flip the script for a minute. Let's imagine tomorrow the world just flipped on its head. Suddenly, females could not have children and could not get pregnant, but males could. Would we still be keeping this energy? Would we? Really? Would we be second-guessing men? And this is what they were born to do and they're selfish if they don't? Would we? Where do these views come from? Where do these views come from? They're rooted in sexism and misogyny, just like every other thing in the world. It's so boring. It's so boring. Like, what? Why are we still having these opinions? It's actually ridiculous. And it's just showing how men, and I'm not generalising and saying individual men and every single individual man, I'm talking about men. If you don't know what I mean, I just can't speak to you. Why are we not realising that this type of language surrounding women and people who are born female, do you not understand how dehumanising it is to purely look at someone and go, you were born to have babies, and if you don't, you are selfish? When you are not in their position, you cannot birth life, so why do you have an opinion on someone else's body? Just don't get it. I just don't get it. I guarantee tomorrow, if men suddenly had the ability to have children, you would think of 1,000,001 reasons not to, and no one would second guess you on it. So let's stop patronising women, shall we, telling them they should want to have children when they know that they don't. Let's be honest, a lot of men would not have a fucking clue what it entails, what a woman would have to go through. It changes the I can't even say that word, trajectory of her entire life. And you want an opinion on that? On something you will never have any experience of doing? Huh? Get the f*** out of here.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
Says who? Because I want to know. Who told men, or people in general, both men and women, that women are obligated to birth other beings into this world? Who said that it is a requirement? I was not trying to say anything because I literally don't try to discuss surface situations such as these, but I was compelled to say something because I'm trying to figure out what kind of people in this world how many people in this world are saying that women are obligated to give birth to another being. I'm going to touch on why I don't want any children at all. In the past, I wanted some. I really did. But I was waiting for marriage. I really did want that. That was for me. And I wanted to make sure that my children had both of their parents in the household and not a broken home. But not anymore. I have 15 nieces and nephews. I have enough to give out and still have more left over. I have walked these children to and from school. I have helped them with their homework. I have taken them to the park. I have loved on them like I was their parents because their parents are shitty too. Changed enough diapers, the works. And I realize that children are not for me. We're also going to look at the simple fact that this country, this world is pretty much shitty. High income taxes, high rent, high everything. And you want me to birth a child into this world. On top of that, I'm going to get a little bit deeper than the surface as to why I don't want any children. I'm going to get a little bit deeper as to why I don't want any children. Genetically speaking, there is generational trauma still continuing in me and pretty much anyone else that decide to not have any children. So to be specific, if you decide to have a child, if you conceive with another being, you're not getting a new spirit that is coming into this world at all. You're literally bringing in another spirit that has been lingering for quite some time to be reborn into this world. So in other words, some of your ancestors are shitty people. There were shitty people. It will literally be the luck of a draw if you birth an awesome ass person. Literally. But if not, there's a possibility that you're going to birth a pedo. There's a possibility that you're going to birth an unaliver. There's a possibility that you're going to birth a dictator. And we're not going to just talk on the woman's side. We're going to talk on also the men's side as well. It does not matter who is the carrier. That person that still have generational trauma, that refuse to address themselves, that refuse to break them, that is going to continue on with the offspring. Now, getting back to the surface, majority of the time that people that are calling other people selfish for not having children is because they're still dealing with the eternal generational trauma. They had their family members talking to them, letting them know that they should have children because they want life to go on and so forth and so on, which is not the case at all. And also, it's not even that. It's not just that. There's people that wants to fit in because they feel as though that they're left out about not having any children. They're watching their friends have children. They're watching their family members have children. So they feel as though that they don't have a group to fit in on. So they birth children. Adding insult to injury, there are parents out here telling their children that they owe them offsprings. Let's be clear, a lot of us didn't request to be here unless you signed a spiritual contract and you can't remember it because every time you turn around it hits the reset button, so you feel as though that you was born here out of someone else's choice. But anyway, I digress. There are literal parents out here telling their kids that they owe them a grandchild and that they are responsible for taking care of them once they get of age, meaning once they get to an elderly age when they feel as though that they are not able to take care of themselves, which I find bullshit, because that's a load of shit. How dare you? Another reason why, which is even darker, why people want to have kids is because they don't necessarily love the children at all. Multiple reasons is, for one, is income tax, welfare, one to keep somebody from leaving, so many, etc. None of them is to love on the children, majority of the time. But going back to me, I don't want to have any children because I'm still getting to know who I am, and I know that there's still generational trauma that is lingering in me that I want to break. I do not want that. Anything that is ruffling inside of me, that is hitting in, blind spots of me, to be going into a person that I chose to bring into this world. I don't want that. Don't want another spirit to be coming into this world that do not deserve to be here. It is literally rolling the dice on who you birth when it comes to giving birth to children. There's literally people that have medical issues that carries on in generation by generation, or every generation for the most part. You don't want that to be carrying on to your offspring. You don't want them to feel like that they are purposely cursed with a medical condition and you decided to carry that on into the... I really do applaud a lot of people that choose their own paths, that choose to really think for themselves and not have children a lot of the times. If you want to have children, then by all means, go ahead and knock yourself out. There's literally a woman on this TikTok. There's literally a woman on TikTok right now that I came across not too long ago, today, saying that she has 27 kids and just said to other people that they're selfish for not having any children. Honey, with 20 kids, 20 plus kids, I think you need to think about your decisions after this point, because you are fertile myrtle. For people that keep calling other people such as myself as selfish because I don't want to bring another person into this crazy ass world, even though that there's a reason why I don't want to bring it into this world, you have to really ask yourself why you want me to have a child. Why do you want any person to have a child? Why do you want to have kids specifically? Start asking some deep-rooted questions. Ask yourself, why do you want to have kids? And why are you pressing other people to have kids with you? If I don't want any, why are you upset? Do you feel as though that you're going to be left behind? Do you feel as though that someone is better than you because they didn't have any children? Why do you feel as though that anyone, any woman specifically, is obligated to have kids? Not everyone deserves kids for a specific reason. That is something I can't even answer. But there's a specific reason why a lot of people are not allowed to have kids.
If you're still here, definitely you're enjoying this video. Don't forget to put your thoughts, your opinion, your suggestion down in the comment section. All opinion accepted if you put them down respectfully. Okay, so now we're talking about being selfish and being child-free, and why do people see. I know that this video was specifically for a man saying that she's selfish and that's the reason why she's brought to this world. But trust me, it's not only men that think that way. People generally think that way. Most people generally think that way, especially where I am in this world. It's abnormal for you not to have a child. And when you go ahead and tell people that I don't want to have a child, they look at you in a disgust way and be like, you're wicked, or were you not born? Somebody gave birth to you, so why don't you want to give birth to somebody? Or they tell you that you don't know what you're doing, or they'll tell you that just try and have one, you might like it, or they tell you that probably you have spiritual problem. To start taking you to pastors to cast and bind all your spiritual problems, because it is not normal where I'm from. Okay, so seeing these kind of videos, and most of the time on the internet, men are the ones speaking it most of the time, saying that a woman is selfish, the only thing a woman is brought to this world is to give birth, to submit, and all of that. You all on top somebody else's body, like, you're really talking about my body? On top somebody else's body, she's saying that she doesn't want to have a child, and you looked at her in that kind of disgust look, and you're saying that's the only reason she's brought this world. Definitely the main thing in your own mind and in your own thinking, the reason she's brought into this world, she's not going to do it because she doesn't want to do it. So now she's actually useless to the world. The next thing we'll hear is unaliving women because they don't want to have children. See, I feel like when they ask these questions to child rearer choice people, I want child rearer choice people to ask them, but like, why do you want to have a child? Like, throw the question back to them. When they ask, like, why don't you want to have a child? Like, why do you want to have a child? And listen to the rubbish that will come out of their mouth. I want someone to look at me when I'm look after me when I'm old, because I want my legacy to continue. You know, because that is what we're brought to this world to do, to multiply the world. They'll just bring rubbish answers. I feel like that's the best response to when they ask, why do you want to have a child? Why don't you want to have a child? Ask them that, why do you want to have a child? Because when I ask these kind of questions to people that want to have a child, their answers are like, do you really want to have it? Or you're having it because of society? Or you're having it because you feel like you should have it? You know, we are talking about a lot of reasons that might not want you to have a child. We're talking about finance, mentally. In fact, most people don't even like children. And when you come back, you wouldn't even know you don't like children until you're close to a child or children, or you work in a school or in daycares, or you have like family babies around crying. That is when sometimes you know that you don't want a child. So why do you want to still go ahead and have your own child, knowing that you can't even stand children? There are a lot of reasons that women do not want to have children. And it's fine, because if you want to have a child, it's fine. You don't have to, make it look like someone that doesn't want to have a child has a problem. No, she doesn't have a problem. In fact, somebody that wants to have a child is one that has a problem, because the way the thing is going now, when you look at the way the society is going, when you look at the way the world is going, and you see some people having so many children, you question yourself, like, are these people okay? Are these people normal? Anyways, that's just my own thought. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section. Alright, don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And please, when you subscribe, can you turn on the post notification bell so you can get notified each time I upload an interesting video like this one. Okay? Yeah. Thank you all so much for sticking around to this point, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.